All right, well, we're back. Market kind of turned around and came back up. Now it's kind of flat. We got, yeah, few moving here and there. But let's take a look at this one account. We're playing around, see how many people like this. Looks like we had a quick turnaround on VRTS. That sucker jumped $13.25. It's always good to keep knocking. That's a pretty consistent hitter. I don't know how many times it hits, but it's on. It comes up quite often. But you just go down through and see where everything's moving. The cough drop. Almost over this cough. Thank God. You're wearing me out. Yeah, VRTS up and closed. So we have KRC closed, AJG closed, and we had a buy on ACV. That was all since this morning. Looks like dividends ended up being $8.88 on the day. So we'll tally everything up at the end of the day and then post everything. It stands right now, it's $29.70. Not a bad day for a down day. Then again, we don't care if it's up or down, as long as it's paying. Where you at here? AEP. Go down through, see if there's anything that needs adjustment. No. A lot of talk about Bitcoin dropping so much. It's like, it's going to do what it's going to do. You know, doesn't pay dividends. It's a lottery ticket type thing. And if you want to buy a tiny amount of it, hey, it's a lottery ticket, you know. You got to be okay with losing it. If it goes to $1 million, maybe you're a millionaire. I don't know. But it ain't going to pay you anything to hold it. Kind of like gold. It'll hold its value. It is what it is. So when somebody wants to sell it to you, that's how much you'll pay for it. I can't tell you where any of these are going. All I'm doing is make sure that my charts are right, that everything that I have on there is correct. Looking for any mistakes, looking for possible trades that are coming up. I don't have a clue what things are going to happen here. Pepsi, is it going up? I don't know. Could be. I mean, if you're looking at it on a weekly basis, yeah, but I don't know what it's going to do. It might stay at 133 for the next 6 months. Who knows? All I'm going to do is take dividends out of it at that point. Got a lot of floaters. And 5 or 6 unchanged. It's these ones here. Haven't really done anything. You get that, you see that. DLT keeps on cratering. I wish we own 100 shares of it. People start to get worried when they got 100 shares of something and it starts going down that far. They start thinking, man, I want to save some money. I said, no, you're going to lose some money. There's no saving at that point. You have to be willing to say goodbye to it. If you really think it's still paying dividends, shouldn't matter. Look at that one. Go back up there. BST. It's a pretty interesting range. CTR keeps pushing higher. Seems like there was a lot of chasing after people's stops. Could push higher, who knows? All right. I'm just waiting on either an alert to buy or a sell. That is it. And I don't even have to sit here and watch this. I'm doing this so I can educate you. There's many ways to skin a cat. But that's a good dividend amount. What are they paying? 3.7. Get that down about halfway, it'll be up close to 7%. Not too bad. Yeah, everything's just kind of static. I don't know what was up with that try. Don't really care, but boy, that sucker looks like it's at the top of a range there, doesn't it? If that's a top. I don't know if that's a top. You know if that's a top? I don't have a clue. It's not on the scan for this week, so we don't have to worry about it. It'll disappear off that portfolio. I don't have to worry about it. Let me double check though, because you get up to close to 100 on the scan, you can always miss it. I try to color code it, but sometimes that doesn't help. We've pretty much got, well, I know for a fact that we have everything as far as CEFs go. You take a look at it. Let's see, that scan has got DSL, main, PKO, ZTR, EOI. All of those are already in the portfolio. So we have one ZTR paying 10.84%. Of course, when it comes to CEFs, I let those values slide because they pay so frequently. It's just kind of, basically it's compounding interest because you're getting paid quicker. You can utilize that money elsewhere. As your account grows, you understand that if you had 166 shares, which would be 100%, right, of the max shares, you can accumulate them over time. Multiply that by 96. So if you had that, you'd be making $159 a year on an $8 stock. Let's see, how much would you have invested? 166 times 886 is equal to 14. Write that down, 1470, 76. You're getting 166 by 96, make 159, divide that by 1470, 76, multiply that by 100, yeah, 10.83%, or 84, you see it right there, right? 10.84%. So let's say you come up with that number if you had max shares, but it doesn't matter how you do it. Wherever you invest, you divide it by how much you paid for it, the number of shares, its value, or the dividend amount for the full year divided by the amount that you paid for. You'll always come up with that yield. As the price goes down, that yield will go up. If the price goes up, that yield comes down. Simple. But yeah, they're in all our portfolios, but these are ones you want to concentrate if you're just starting. I look at those as kind of like the base to dividend building because they don't tend to move much, and you're not going to get the occurrence for the trade out of them very often. But it's a good source of growing your portfolio quickly, especially at 10%. What else we got here that's moved? WEC. Yeah. Who knows? Looks like the dividends were increased back here in February. Yeah. So, funny how it kept on going. Well, they increased them after it went down. So what does that tell us? I have no idea. Maybe it goes up. Don't let your brain trick you. Likes to tell you what to do. See something that's not there. Stick with the rules. If it ain't on the scan, I don't buy any more of it until it comes back up on the scan. Definitely some uncertainty in the market. You can tell by the way things are moving around. Like Apache was down this morning, now it's up. That's just oil prices. Now that could have come down and hit that. That would have been nice. That's a little bit better position. But we just play the game. There we go. LMT still rising. That's a good sign. Got some money coming in there. Looks like good volume too. 193 million. Something pushing it. AEP. That puppy's not paying hardly anything in dividends. Needs to be gotten rid of. Got to get back up to even. As soon as that happens, we'll unload it. It's not, let's see how close it is. No, it's got to go all the way up to 12, so anytime soon. VRTS is out. XEL. Hopefully we get some more upward pressure, some more of that stimulus. This looks like typical market action to me. I don't know what everybody's up and down about. Looks like a wave to me. Got some buying, got some selling. Down. Doesn't really matter about the all these ones that are even on the day. You got all these. So I mean, you look at this. You got all these up. You got all these down. And you got all these flat. It's a flat day. You can pick out some of these. You know, Jack. I said that one's probably moved the most of the ones to the bottom. We all know that VRTS is the winner on the top side, 1346, but it doesn't mean a heck of a lot. If you took profit, you took profit. Just continue to grow those accounts slowly but surely. Never take a loss. Yep. Let's find one that's maybe close. That's really pushing hard there. Keep an eye on that for a minute. Oh. remember at one point today that daily profit loss on this account was 440 to the negative. That's why it doesn't mean anything. If that freaks you out, you need to get used to it. Numbers going up and down, you can't watch that. Bitcoin heading back up. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be below 40 before the night's over. Everybody wants to be right about something. I just put together a plan where you can't lose. Stop trying to guess and keep on guessing. Just keep on losing. I mean, you got a 50-50 chance, right? Guess that's why people like to guess. But then nobody really calls them out. Well, you should be under 40K before the end of the day. Like, well, it's just a prediction. You can say whatever you want. You'll never hear it from me. I ain't got a clue where anything's going. All I know how to do is add and subtract. I'm pretty simple. About 12 minutes left to go. Been a crazy first couple of months in the market. This last couple of weeks has just been really dry. Just nothing really happening. It's just kind of slow melt upward. And you got half the stocks up, half the stocks down, other than the main, Dow components. It's interesting to watch them. They have no correlation to the Dow anymore. The Dow is like whatever. It could be up 500 and the rest of the stocks and the S&P could be all down. Man, they just be like, look at that, market's up 500 points. Doesn't mean anything anymore. You have to follow each individual stock, each company. What are they doing? want them dividend payments. First and foremost. Secondly, when at all possible, I want to get that dividend for the full year as fast as I can based on my investment. You can scale this system all the way up into the billions. It doesn't matter. There's no cap to this system. You just have to do some number arranging when you get up into the millions. But then again, it's just scaling and keeping your risk at a manageable level where it won't destroy you if one of these companies folds. I mean, I'd like to see a portfolio. These are small portfolios. Some of the other portfolios have 3 times as many stocks, and they're all pulling down dividends. Some of them have exact same stocks as these ones have. The scan's no different. Let's see what the, yeah, so we're basically flat on the day. Came down, went flat, and then all these stocks, money started coming into them, they went up. We've been cashing out. We cashed at 7 today. We bought 5. So every day it's something. That's what you're looking for, the occurrences. You don't want to get trapped in this idea that if I have $100,000 and I just buy one stock and say, all right, well, maybe it looks like it's low on the chart, right? It's at $50. Well, what happens if it goes to 25? Now you're down to 50 grand. You ain't got no money to put in. So you're dependent on dividends. And what if it's paying you 3%? Well, okay, now the dividend yield's 6%. But unless you've got another 100 grand to put in it to make it up, that dollar cost averaging ain't going to work with buying one share at a time. I mean, it's going to have an effect on it, but it's not going to be noticeable enough. It has to go right back up to where you buy it at to be profitable, or all you're doing is pulling down that 3% of what you paid for it. If it goes down to 25, it's still only 3% you're making on your money. It's not actually 6%. That's why I say don't pay too much attention to the yield. It is what you paid for it at the time. Just like LMT here. If we look at it, the yield on it has gone up because the price has come down. But it's only going to be positive when it gets back up into that green shaded area. Then you'll be on par with whatever the dividend yield is. So as you're going up towards that sell limit, that dividend yield continues to go down. The dividend stays the same, unless, of course, they increase their dividend like they did in this last quarter. They raised it by 20 cents. So look, well, I'd have to look on the chart to see when the next dividend's going to be. Looks like it's going to be around December 30th, being quarterly. quarterly. So about a month away. We'll see. But you don't have to all have this mess across your screen on your charts, you know, saying, hey, if it does this and it does that and it does this and it does that, and at this particular time of the day, if it's got a green bar, I mean, whatever you want to put on there is not going to help you. This is simple math. Don't make it any harder than it needs to be. The whole idea is you want to spread your risk. You spread your risk, you'll make the same amount of money. And you can't really put a time on it because the market conditions control a lot of that, you know, just on how things move. So if things continue on down, like we were talking about before, if you're spread out and you don't have all your money in the market and you have some cash to put in, then you'll be set up nicely when the market does turn to the downside. But you continue to pull in those dividends. I mean, we've been in an up market for how long? Well, if that's true and everything is at all-time highs, I'm sitting here looking at LMT, and that sucker's down from 400 down to 320. Now it's back up to 346. So if you were buying at 400, which I probably did, if it showed on the scan, then I bought it. But you can see I own 4. Do I own 4? I think so. Yeah. I have 4 shares, and dividends are paying $10.40 a year. So if I don't do anything, I'm going to guarantee me $41.60 per year in dividends, just off 4 shares. So I got a $1,300 investment. So it's going to be pretty low. We'll close it out with this. Let's say 4160 divided by 1387. 4160 divided by 1386. So let's multiply that by 100. Yeah, it's 3%. Still better than a bank, right? But you have the opportunity to buy more if this continues to go down or comes up back up on the scan or whatever. As long as I'm below this line, my average price, I can buy more of this. But I follow the rules on when I buy. I'll just buy right now. Because looking back, you can say, well, that would have been a good time to buy. That would have been a great time to buy there, right? But look, that's hindsight. If you knew that it was going to stop there, for sure, go down to the bank and borrow $1 million and buy it there. And all you had to do is a $50 move, right? And you made 50 million bucks. Well, I shouldn't say 50 million, whatever that could buy you. 50 million or $1 million could buy you. That would be what, let's work it out. Divided by 320. Let's just say it got down to 320. You knew, so 3,120 shares. Multiply that by $50 move. You make $156,000. If you knew it for a fact, but you don't. You can guess at it all day long. You could have said, well, I think this is going to be the bottom. Right? I think that could be the bottom there. That could be the bottom. Well, maybe it's down here a little further. I don't know. You just don't know. But doesn't look like too much else is going to happen. So we'll finish up here, get my stuff written up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If everything goes well. And on a positive note, That account looks like a cash account. What are you doing there, buddy? Good boy. All right, so markets are closed. So we'll call it a day, and I'll post everything that we had since this morning later on.